From the moment you open your eyes and look around, Earth feels familiar. The ground beneath your feet, the air you breathe, the oceans that cover most of its surface. It all seems ordinary because it's what we've always known. But what if the story of Earth is not the simple, safe tale we were taught in school? What if behind every mountain, every ocean, and even beneath your feet, lies evidence that this planet is far stranger, far more violent, and far more mysterious than anyone dares to admit? Scientists have uncovered clues that point to a violent birth filled with fire and destruction, ancient cataclysms that nearly erased all life, and forces beneath the surface that are still shaping our future in ways we can't control. Some discoveries suggest that Earth may not even be a world of random chance, but one that has been guided, balanced, and influenced in ways that stretch beyond science into the realm of speculation. The planet has been scarred by disasters, pulled back from the brink of extinction more than once, and left behind patterns that suggest its story is anything but accidental. Strange signals from space, unexplained flips in its magnetic field, ruins of civilizations older than recorded history, and ocean depths that guard secrets never touched by human hands. Each one adds a new layer to the mystery, and the more we uncover, the clearer it becomes that Earth is not simply a home, but a puzzle, one with missing pieces that may never fully fit. Yet those missing pieces whisper of truths too big to ignore. So the real question is, how much of Earth's story have we truly been told, and how much has been left hidden in silence? The answers might be more shocking than we're ready for. When people look at Earth today, with its blue oceans, green landscapes, and the calm familiarity of life, it's easy to forget that this planet was born out of violence, so extreme it defies imagination. The Earth we know was never destined to be peaceful, and in fact, if history had unfolded only slightly differently, there might never have been an Earth at all. Billions of years ago, when the solar system was still young, it was nothing like the orderly place we see today, with planets moving smoothly in their orbits. Instead, it was chaos, a swirling disk of gas, rock, ice, and fire, colliding constantly, smashing together and tearing itself apart. Every planet you know, Mercury, Venus, Mars, even giant Jupiter, was shaped in this crucible of destruction, but none of them had a story quite as dramatic as Earth. At the very beginning, Earth wasn't even Earth. It was just one of countless planetary embryos, small worlds fighting for survival in a solar system filled with violence. Imagine a time when space was crowded, when collisions between worlds weren't rare events but part of the normal order. In that era, Earth took shape through endless bombardment, each impact adding mass, each collision changing its destiny. Scientists now believe Earth's very existence is the result of luck, an outcome where it survived while others were obliterated. Some of those failed worlds were shattered into asteroid belts. Others were absorbed into the bigger planets. Earth somehow held on, but its survival came at a cost written deep in its structure, scars of fire and stone that still echo in the planet's core. The most famous moment of this violent birth is what scientists call the giant impact hypothesis. At some point, when Earth was still young and molten, another planetary body the size of Mars crashed into it. This wasn't just a collision, it was an apocalypse. Entire oceans of rock melted instantly. Mountains turned to vapor. The atmosphere was blown into space. For a moment, Earth itself may have been nothing more than a ball of magma, reshaped by heat and destruction. But out of this event came something shocking, something that would forever change Earth's destiny. The Moon. The debris from that cataclysmic impact didn't just scatter and vanish. Much of it coalesced into a new body orbiting Earth, and that body became the Moon. Without that collision, without that disaster, there might never have been tides, stable climates, or the conditions that allowed life to flourish. In other words, Earth as we know it only exists because of destruction on a scale that defies comprehension. But the giant impact was only one chapter in Earth's violent beginning. For hundreds of millions of years afterward, the young Earth continued to endure an endless rain of asteroids and comets. Scientists call this period the Late Heavy Bombardment, and it was so intense that if life had begun before then, it likely would have been wiped out again and again. Imagine entire oceans boiling away, the skies filled with fire as massive rocks smashed into the surface, leaving craters bigger than whole continents. This wasn't a planet built in peace. It was a planet built in chaos. Yet from this chaos, something strange began to happen. Among the impacts came water-rich comets, delivering the seeds of the oceans that now cover more than 2/3 of the surface. Along with water, these visitors may have carried the very building blocks of life, organic molecules that later formed into the first primitive cell. The irony is hard to ignore. The same forces that nearly destroyed Earth may also have planted the seeds of life itself. Even after the bombardment slowed, Earth's surface was nothing like the world we recognize. It was a hostile landscape of volcanoes belching toxic gases, an atmosphere filled with carbon dioxide, methane and ammonia, and temperatures that swung wildly between unbearable heat and freezing cold. Life seemed impossible. And yet, deep in the cracks of the Earth's crust, around boiling hydrothermal vents, primitive life may have taken its first steps. In other words, the very violence that threatened to erase Earth's existence created the precise conditions that allowed it to begin. And this contradiction of destruction and creation existing side by side would repeat throughout Earth's story. Some scientists now speculate that Earth's violent past may not be a one-time story of chaos, but part of a larger cosmic pattern. Why does Earth have a moon so large compared to its size? Why does it sit in a zone where liquid water is possible, shielded by a giant like Jupiter that absorbs deadly comets? Why does it possess a magnetic field that protects it from solar radiation? Each of these traits is linked to events of staggering violence and chance. The collision that created the moon stabilized Earth's tilt. The chaotic bombardments delivered water and carbon. The movement of molten metals in Earth's core, itself a product of that same early heat and destruction, created a protective magnetic shield. What looks like luck may actually be the residue of catastrophe, a pattern suggesting that Earth was never simply a planet. It was a survivor of a cosmic gauntlet designed to strip away the weak and leave behind only the rare and improbable. And yet, even with this understanding, there are mysteries that remain unsolved. Some researchers argue that Earth's birth is too perfect, that the odds of these collisions and survivals aligning in exactly the right way are so small it borders on impossible. Others believe Earth's violent history may still be ongoing in ways we haven't fully grasped. There is evidence of past impacts that reshaped the planet long after life had begun, hidden scars beneath the surface that hint at disasters larger than anything written in human history. Could it be that the story of Earth's violent beginning is not over, but only paused? Could the same forces that shaped us once rise again, rewriting our future just as they wrote our past? When we think of Earth as home, we like to imagine it as safe, stable, unchanging. But the truth is far darker. The planet beneath our feet is the result of cataclysm after cataclysm, of collisions that annihilated worlds, of impacts that scarred the surface beyond recognition. And the greatest irony of all is this: without those disasters, there would be no Earth to call home. Violence was not an interruption in Earth's story. It was the foundation of it, and knowing that, the question becomes terrifyingly clear. If violence created Earth, what will violence do to it next? If Earth's violent birth was the opening chapter of its story, then the moon became the silent partner that shaped everything that followed. To most people, the moon feels ordinary, a pale light hanging in the night sky, beautiful but predictable. Yet the truth is far stranger. The moon isn't just a decorative companion. It is a stabilizer, a protector, and perhaps even the single reason life was able to survive long enough to evolve into us. Without it, Earth's story would have been very different, and possibly much shorter. But the moon's presence also raises questions about how it formed, what secrets it may hold, and whether its role is more mysterious than science dares to admit. The prevailing theory is that the moon was born out of catastrophe, forged from the debris of the colossal impact between the young Earth and a Mars-sized body billions of years ago. But unlike the random rubble left by other collisions, this debris coalesced into something coherent, something permanent. The moon became Earth's twin of sorts, locked in orbit, its face forever turned toward us. From the start, it was not simply a bystander. It was part of the system that made Earth livable. The giant collision that created it also tilted Earth's axis, and the moon's gravitational pull stabilized that tilt. Without it, Earth's rotation might wobble wildly, swinging climates from extremes of heat to crushing cold in ways that would make long-term survival impossible. The moon doesn't just light the night, it holds Earth steady like a hand on the shoulder of a staggering traveler, keeping us from falling into chaos. But that stability is only the beginning of the moon's secret influence. Its gravitational pull creates the tides, drawing the oceans back and forth, a rhythm so constant we take it for granted. Yet those tides may have been the cradle of life itself. Scientists believe the tidal zones, where the ocean meets the land, created unique environments where organic molecules could concentrate, collide, and eventually form the first living cells. In this sense, the moon wasn't just a companion, it was a midwife to life, shaping the conditions that allowed it to emerge. Every crashing wave, every shifting tide is a reminder that Earth's biosphere may owe its very existence to the silent pull of the moon. And the moon's fingerprints can be found in even stranger places. Consider Earth's day. Billions of years ago, Earth spun far faster, with days lasting only a handful of hours. The moon's gravity has been gradually slowing that spin, lengthening the day until it reached the 24-hour rhythm we know today. That slowing wasn't just mechanical, it gave ecosystems time to stabilize, allowing plants to adapt to cycles of light and dark, creating the foundation for complex life. Without the moon, our world would have spun too fast, a frantic environment with harsher winds, violent weather, and chaotic conditions hostile to stability. Yet the moon is not a static object. It is drifting away from Earth at a rate of about 1.5 inches per year, a slow escape that has been happening since its formation. Millions of years from now, this drift will weaken its stabilizing influence, change the tides, and alter Earth's delicate balance once more. Humanity may not be here to see it, but the fact remains, the moon's influence is temporary, a borrowed stability that has given us a window of opportunity. The unsettling truth is that we exist in that window, living in a rare chapter where the Earth-Moon partnership makes life possible. When that balance shifts too far, everything may change again. But beyond the scientific explanations, there are mysteries that refuse to fade. The moon is unusually large compared to its planet, a trait almost unheard of in the solar system. Its density, its orbit, and even the way it aligns perfectly to eclipse the sun seem too precise, too improbable. Some researchers whisper that the moon is an anomaly, a cosmic accident that defies chance. Others push the speculation further, suggesting that the moon may not be a natural object at all, but something more, an idea found in fringe theories, but fueled by oddities scientists still struggle to explain. Why, for example, does the moon ring like a bell when struck by seismic waves, as though it is hollow or contains strange structures beneath its crust? Why do ancient cultures across the world share myths of a time before the moon existed? Stories that describe a sky once empty of its pale companion. Are these coincidences, or do they hint at a deeper history we have yet to uncover? The moon has also shaped human civilization in ways we rarely recognize. Its phases became the first calendars, its light guided ancient travelers, and its cycles were woven into myths, religions, and rituals. For early humanity, the moon was not just an object in the sky, it was a presence, a companion that seemed alive, watching, guiding. That perception shaped culture, and culture shaped destiny. Even today, the moon inspires awe, its pull not only on oceans, but on imaginations. It is a reminder that the line between science and mystery has always been thin, and the moon sits directly on that line. And as humanity has reached beyond Earth, the moon has remained central. It became the first step into space, the first other world touched by human hands. The Apollo missions revealed its barren surface, but they also raised new questions. Samples brought back showed anomalies in isotopic ratios that challenged simple models of its formation. Some rocks appeared older than Earth itself, while others hinted at processes we still don't fully understand. Even in the age of advanced science, the moon refuses to be fully explained, as if holding back secrets it isn't ready to reveal. The role of the moon then is not simply as a stabilizer or a companion, but as a keeper of mysteries. It is at once ordinary and extraordinary, familiar yet alien. It shapes our days, our tides, our climates, and perhaps even our existence, all while sitting silently above, unchanging and yet constantly influencing. And if its role has been as profound in the past, the question becomes unavoidable. What role will it play in the future? As it drifts away, as its grip on Earth weakens, what changes will ripple across the planet? And if its story truly began in catastrophe, is it possible that its story might one day end the same way? The moon is more than a rock in the sky. It is Earth's partner, its stabilizer, its guardian, and perhaps its greatest mystery. Without it, Life as we know it might never have been possible, and yet, the more we learn, the more its presence feels like a riddle, one that reminds us Earth's story is not only violent, but filled with secrets still waiting to be revealed. If Earth's violent birth and the Moon's guiding presence set the stage for life, then the story of life itself is one of survival through catastrophe. Again and again, Earth has been brought to the brink of emptiness, nearly wiped clean of its living inhabitants, only for life to claw its way back from the ashes. These are the mass extinctions, the great die-offs that have marked the timeline of our planet like scars carved into history. To most people, extinction feels like a distant idea, something tragic but rare. In reality, mass extinctions are the rhythm of Earth's story, and each one reshaped the planet so completely that if any had unfolded differently, we would not be here today. Yet what makes them truly unsettling is the growing sense that they are not entirely random, that patterns exist, hidden cycles of destruction, whispering that Earth's future may already be written. The most infamous extinction is the one that ended the reign of the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. A massive asteroid, 6 miles wide, struck the Yucatan Peninsula, releasing energy equal to billions of nuclear bombs. The skies darkened with debris, temperatures plunged, and ecosystems collapsed almost overnight. Dinosaurs, once rulers of the land, vanished, leaving only birds as their descendants. But while this event has captured popular imagination, it was only one of many. In fact, paleontologists recognize at least 5 major extinction events, each of which erased most of life on Earth. The dinosaurs' end may be the most cinematic, but far worse events came before. Consider the Permian-Triassic extinction, about 252 million years ago, sometimes called the Great Dying. During this catastrophe, an estimated 90% of marine species and 70% of land species disappeared. Oceans turned toxic, skies choked with volcanic gases, and ecosystems collapsed in ways scientists still struggle to explain. It was the closest Earth has ever come to becoming a dead planet. Yet somehow life endured, reshaping itself in new and unexpected ways. The survivors laid the foundation for the rise of dinosaurs and mammals. In other words, our existence today may hinge on a single razor-thin survival during the planet's darkest hour. Other extinctions carry their own mysteries. The Ordovician-Silurian event about 440 million years ago wiped out much of life in the seas, likely triggered by sudden glaciation followed by rapid warming. The Devonian extinction about 360 million years ago occurred in waves, possibly driven by asteroid impacts, volcanic activity, or shifts in oxygen levels. The Triassic-Jurassic extinction 2,000 million years ago cleared the stage for dinosaurs to dominate. Each event was different in its cause, its scope, and its aftermath, but the pattern was always the same: destruction followed by transformation, death followed by rebirth. What unsettles scientists now is the possibility that these extinctions follow a cycle. Some researchers have noticed hints of a repeating rhythm, with major die-offs occurring roughly every 26 to 30 million years. The idea is controversial, but it refuses to die because the evidence, though incomplete, is persistent. If true, it suggests that extinction is not just random chaos, but a heartbeat of the cosmos, a cycle tied to forces beyond Earth itself. Some theories point to the motion of the solar system through the Milky Way, proposing that as Earth drifts through dense regions of the galaxy, it is bombarded with comets or exposed to cosmic radiation that destabilizes the climate. Others speculate about a hypothetical nemesis star, a companion to the Sun that disrupts the Oort cloud every few tens of millions of years, sending a rain of deadly asteroids into the inner solar system. While Nemesis remains unproven, the pattern is eerie. Extinction seems to come in waves, as if Earth is caught in a cosmic clock it cannot escape. Adding to the mystery are the sudden bursts of change found in the fossil record. Some extinctions happen almost overnight in geological terms, with species vanishing abruptly across the globe. Others drag on, a slow burn of decline and collapse. The reasons remain elusive. Was it asteroids, volcanoes, shifts in the magnetic field, or even biological revolutions like the rise of plants altering the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide? Each answer only spawns new questions, and each question deepens the unsettling thought that extinction is less an exception and more a rule. Even more disturbing are the events humanity doesn't talk about as often, the smaller but still devastating extinctions that reshaped history in quieter ways. Around 12,800 years ago, at the end of the last ice age, A sudden climate shift wiped out countless large animals from mammoths to saber-toothed cats, leaving behind ecosystems we now call normal. Some scientists link this to a possible comet impact, while others blame human hunting. Regardless of cause, it was another reminder that extinction is not confined to ancient history. It lurks in the recent past, and perhaps the near future. That thought becomes harder to ignore when scientists warn that we may be living through the sixth mass extinction right now. Species are disappearing at a rate far above the natural background, driven by habitat destruction, climate change, pollution, and overexploitation. Entire ecosystems are collapsing under the weight of human activity. The unsettling possibility is that humanity is not just a bystander, but the trigger of the next great die-off, one that may eventually include us. If extinction has always reset the stage, then the question becomes, who or what will inherit the world after us? Yet within the darkness of extinction lies an equally shocking truth. It is also a creator. Every great extinction opened doors for new forms of life. Without the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, mammals might never have risen to dominance. Without the great dying, life might never have diversified into the complex ecosystems we see today. Extinction is not the end, it is transformation, a brutal but consistent force that reshapes Earth's trajectory. And if there is a pattern to it, then it may be that Earth itself is locked in a cycle of destruction and rebirth, a cycle we are only beginning to glimpse. What makes this even more chilling is the possibility that these cycles are not confined to Earth. If cosmic forces like galactic motion or hidden companions are involved, then mass extinctions may be universal, affecting not just Earth, but any life-bearing world. That means civilizations elsewhere in the universe may have faced their own cycles of collapse, wiped away by the same clock that ticks for us. If true, then extinction is not just part of Earth's story, it is part of the universe's design. For humanity, the lesson is unsettling but clear. We live in a fragile window, one granted by the survival of past extinctions, and threatened by the possibility of another, whether triggered by cosmic forces, geological upheavals, or our own actions. The next great die-off is not a question of if, but when. The Earth will endure, as it always has, reshaping itself after each collapse. But whether we endure with it is another matter entirely, and this realization leads to a haunting thought. If extinction has always come in patterns, if cycles of destruction are written into Earth's timeline, then perhaps our current era is not an exception, but the beginning of the next chapter. The signs are all around us: climate instability, biodiversity collapse, and mysterious cosmic anomalies. The cycle may already be turning again, and the question is not whether it will arrive, but how humanity will face it. Will we become another footnote in Earth's long history of survival through catastrophe? Or will we finally learn to break the cycle before it swallows us whole? When most people think of Earth's protection, they picture the atmosphere, the thin blue veil of air that keeps us alive. But there is another shield, one far more invisible, yet far more powerful. Earth's magnetic field, generated by the movement of molten iron and nickel in the planet's outer core. This field surrounds the Earth like a cocoon, deflecting the solar wind, shielding us from cosmic radiation, and preserving the fragile atmosphere that makes life possible. Without it, Earth would resemble Mars, stripped of air, baked by the sun, and uninhabitable. But what few realize is that this shield is not constant. It shifts, weakens, and flips in ways that are both baffling and terrifying. Earth's magnetic field has reversed itself many times in the past, with the North and South poles trading places in events that remain one of the planet's great mysteries. And each time this reversal occurred, life and civilization faced challenges that science still struggles to fully explain. Magnetic reversals are not rare in geological terms. In fact, the record written into rocks shows that they have happened hundreds of times over the last 160 million years. Sometimes the flips occurred in rapid succession, while at other times the poles remained stable for tens of millions of years. The last major reversal, known as the Brunhes-Matuyama reversal, happened about 780,000 years ago. Since then, Earth's magnetic poles have drifted and shifted, but they have not switched places completely. That long stability has been unusual, and some scientists warn it may not last much longer. Today, the magnetic field is weakening at a rate far faster than expected, especially in a strange region called the South Atlantic Anomaly, where satellites passing overhead are bombarded with radiation leaking through the thinning shield. Could this be the first sign of an impending flip? What makes reversals so unsettling is not just that they happen, but that we don't know what they truly mean for life on Earth. During a flip, the field weakens dramatically, sometimes collapsing to as little as 10% of its normal strength. That weakened shield allows more radiation to reach the surface, potentially disrupting ecosystems, mutating DNA, and contributing to extinction events. Some researchers even suggest that past reversals may have coincided with mysterious die-offs, though direct evidence remains elusive. If a reversal were to happen today, the consequences would ripple through every part of civilization. Satellites would fail, GPS would collapse, power grids would overload, and communication systems would be crippled by storms of radiation we are not prepared to face. Yet there are stranger aspects still. Reversals do not happen cleanly. Instead, they begin with the magnetic poles wandering wildly, sometimes splitting into multiple north and south poles scattered across the globe before finally settling into their new positions. Imagine a world where compasses point in different directions depending on where you stand, where navigation by magnetism is impossible, and where radiation levels spike unpredictably. This chaotic in-between state could last for centuries, plunging humanity into a prolonged era of instability. The unsettling part is that signs of this wandering are already visible. The North Magnetic Pole has been racing across the Arctic at unprecedented speeds, drifting from Canada towards Siberia, in a movement that has accelerated over the last century. Scientists can't explain why it is moving so quickly, only that the changes in Earth's core must be dramatic. And what if these shifts are not just natural quirks? Some researchers have noticed correlations between magnetic reversals and climate disruptions, as though the field's instability influences weather and long-term patterns. Others speculate that reversals may even interact with the biosphere in ways we cannot yet measure, subtly altering the course of evolution. In ancient times, early humans may have witnessed auroras far from the poles, glowing skies that filled them with awe and fear as the weakening field allowed charged particles to dance across latitudes where they were never meant to appear. Were myths of fiery serpents, divine battles, and heavenly signs actually memories of these magnetic events passed down in oral traditions? It is a possibility too compelling to dismiss. There is also the question of why Earth's field flips at all. The basic mechanism is understood. The GI dynamo in the molten core creates the field, but the reason it sometimes destabilizes and reverses is still debated. Some suggest it is simply chaotic turbulence in the outer core. Others believe it may be triggered by processes deeper within Earth, or even influenced by external forces such as gravitational interactions with the Moon or shifts in solar activity. The mystery remains unsolved, and with every unanswered question comes another layer of unease. The South Atlantic Anomaly intensifies this unease. Stretching from South America to Africa, this zone of weakness has grown larger over recent decades, exposing satellites to radiation bursts so severe that equipment sometimes fails when passing overhead. Planes flying through the region report malfunctions, and navigation systems behave unpredictably. It is as if a hole has been torn in the magnetic shield, a precursor of something larger to come. Could this anomaly be the first crack in the armor, the warning sign of a field on the brink of reversal? If so, then humanity is living on borrowed time, and the countdown has already begun. The implications stretch beyond science into speculation that borders on the uncanny. Some fringe theories suggest that magnetic reversals are tied to cycles of global upheaval, that they may even act as resets for civilizations. According to this view, ancient legends of floods, fires, and celestial chaos are not myths, but memories of past flips, encoded in cultural stories to warn future generations. Mainstream science is cautious, but the coincidences are difficult to ignore. Each time the magnetic field faltered, Earth's history changed. Each time the shield weakened, life was tested. And now, as the poles drift faster and the field weakens, humanity may be heading toward its own test. The frightening truth is that there is nothing we can do to stop it. The field will flip if it chooses, whether tomorrow, 1,000 years from now, or 1,000,000. But the pace of change suggests something unusual is already underway, and we may live to see effects far more dramatic than anything in recorded history. Satellites will fail, power grids will flicker, radiation will creep into the daily lives of billions. The invisible shield that has always been there may suddenly feel fragile, and when it does, humanity will be reminded of how thin the line between safety and disaster really is. The Earth's magnetic field is not just a shield, it is a reminder of how dependent we are on forces we cannot control. It has flipped before and it will flip again, but whether that flip will come with minor disruptions or catastrophic upheavals remains one of the planet's greatest mysteries. For now, the only certainty is that the shield is changing, and with it, perhaps the fate of everything living beneath it. And as the compass needle drifts further from true north, one question grows louder. Is this just another chapter in Earth's natural cycle, or the beginning of something far more dangerous waiting to unfold? Throughout history, humanity has been told a story about its origins, that civilization began only a few thousand years ago in Mesopotamia, with the rise of agriculture, writing, and cities. From there, the tale goes, everything advanced in a steady climb toward the modern world. But what if that story is incomplete? What if beneath our feet, hidden under deserts, swallowed by jungles, and buried under oceans, there are traces of civilizations far older, far more advanced, and far more mysterious than we've been allowed to believe? Evidence scattered across the globe suggests that humanity's history may stretch back into shadows we've barely begun to explore. And with each discovery, the official narrative cracks a little more. Take Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, for example. Dating back nearly 12,000 years, it is older than Stonehenge and the pyramids, yet its massive stone pillars are carved with intricate designs of animals and abstract symbols. This site was built at the end of the last ice age, a time when mainstream history tells us humans were still simple hunter-gatherers. But the level of planning, engineering, and symbolic thought required to construct Göbekli Tepe doesn't fit that picture. How could a supposedly primitive culture organize, carve, and align such massive structures with such precision? Some researchers argue that Göbekli Tepe is the smoking gun of a forgotten civilization, one erased by time and catastrophe. Then there are the pyramids of Giza, officially dated to around 4,500 years ago. They are considered monuments of ancient Egyptian ingenuity, but controversies swirl around their true age and purpose. The alignment of the pyramids with Orion's belt, the precision of their construction, and the mystery of how such massive stones were moved all fuel speculation. Some believe they are far older than accepted, remnants of a pre-dynastic civilization that possessed knowledge later inherited by the Egyptian. Others point to the Sphinx, whose body shows erosion patterns that some geologists argue could only have been caused by heavy rainfall thousands of years before Egypt's desert climate existed. If true, then the Sphinx might be more than 10,000 years old, and the story of Egyptian civilization would have to be rewritten from the ground up. Similar puzzles appear across the world. In South America, the ruins of Pumapunku in Bolivia showcase megalithic stones cut with such precision that modern engineers struggle to explain how they were shaped and fitted together. The site's age and purpose remain hotly debated, with some suggesting it predates the Inca by millennia. In the jungles of Central America, vast Mayan cities have been uncovered with LiDAR technology, revealing sprawling urban networks hidden beneath the canopy. In India, the submerged ruins of Dwarka described in ancient texts have been found off the coast, pointing to the possibility that myth and history may be more intertwined than once believed. The oceans themselves may hide the greatest secrets of all. Off the coast of Japan, the Yonaguni Monument lies beneath the waves, a massive stone structure that resembles terraces, steps, and platforms. Debate rages over whether it is a natural formation or the work of human hands, but if it is artificial, its age could extend back more than 10,000 years, to a time when sea levels were far lower. And in the Caribbean, legends persist of Atlantis, a lost civilization said to have vanished beneath the sea. While mainstream scholars dismiss Atlantis as myth, occasional discoveries of anomalous underwater structures keep the story alive, fueling speculation that fragments of forgotten worlds remain hidden beneath the ocean floor. Ancient texts and myths around the world seem to echo the same story of civilizations destroyed by floods, fire, or cosmic upheaval. The Epic of Gilgamesh, the Bible's account of Noah's flood, and flood myths from Native American, Indian, and Polynesian traditions all describe global cataclysms that wiped out earlier societies. Could these myths be cultural memories of real events, passed down through oral tradition? The end of the last ice age, about 12,000 years ago, brought rapid sea level rise as glaciers melted, submerging vast areas of land and erasing entire coastal settlements. Perhaps the flood myths are not just allegories, but eyewitness accounts of that devastation, encoded in stories to warn future generations. Adding to the intrigue are the tools, artifacts and anomalies that don't fit the standard timeline. Objects like the Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek device with gears so advanced it has been called the world's first computer, challenge our assumptions about technological progress. Other out-of-place artifacts, though controversial, spark debate. Spheres with symmetrical grooves found in South Africa, metallic objects embedded in ancient rock, or maps like the Piri Reis chart that seem to depict coastlines of Antarctica long before they were supposedly known. Each anomaly adds to the sense that we may not be the first advanced civilization to walk this earth. Some researchers push this idea further, suggesting that civilization may be cyclical, just as Earth itself goes through cycles of catastrophe and renewal. Perhaps humanity does too. Advanced societies may have risen and fallen before, their knowledge lost in disasters like floods, volcanic eruptions, or even magnetic reversals. In this view, our modern age is not unique, but just the latest chapter in a repeating story of rise and fall. If true, then the ruins we uncover are not the foundations of our history, but its echoes, fragments left behind by predecessors who were wiped away. The idea of forbidden knowledge adds another layer of mystery. Throughout history, certain discoveries, texts, and ideas have been suppressed, hidden, or dismissed by authorities. Why? Was it simply to maintain power, or was it to prevent dangerous truths from spreading? Ancient libraries like the one at Alexandria held vast records of knowledge, much of which was lost forever when the library burned. What secrets might have been contained there? Records of forgotten civilizations, accounts of cataclysms, or technologies beyond their time. Even today, whispers circulate about discoveries locked away from the public eye, deemed too disruptive or controversial for the official narrative. What makes all of this even more compelling is how these mysteries converge with modern science. We know that civilizations can be erased quickly by natural disasters, as seen with Pompeii or the collapse of the Mayan Empire. We know that coastlines have shifted dramatically due to sea level rise. We know that myths often carry kernels of truth. Put together, it becomes harder to dismiss the possibility that our timeline is incomplete. The Earth is vast, and the majority of it remains unexplored, especially the deep oceans. How much history lies buried beneath sediment, ice and water, waiting to be rediscovered? If humanity has indeed risen and fallen before, then perhaps the greatest danger we face is not only repeating the same mistakes, but also failing to recognize the warnings encoded in ancient myths and ruins. Our ancestors may have left us clues, carved in stone and told in story, but have we been willing to listen? Or has modern arrogance blinded us to the possibility that we are not the pinnacle of history, but part of a repeating cycle? The unsettling truth is that every new discovery suggests we know less about our past than we thought. Each ruin, each artifact, each anomaly is like a voice whispering from the shadows of time, reminding us that the story of Earth and humanity is far from complete. And if there were civilizations before us, wiped away by disaster, then the question becomes unavoidable. Will we meet the same fate, leaving only ruins and myths for the next cycle to find? When you look at Earth from space, the most striking feature is not the land, but the oceans. They cover more than 70% of the planet's surface, yet we've explored less than 5% of their vast expanse. That means most of our world lies hidden in the deep, shrouded in darkness, pressure and mystery. It's ironic that we've sent probes to other planets, and even mapped Mars more thoroughly than our own seafloor. The ocean is the final frontier of Earth, a place where the past, present and future collide, and many believe that the oceans hold answers to some of the greatest riddles of our existence. The origins of life, the fate of lost civilizations, and even the possibility of secrets that challenge everything we think we know. Consider this. Entire continents once existed where there is now only water. At the height of the last ice age, sea levels were more than 300 feet lower than today. Vast stretches of land connected places that are now separated by oceans. Coastal plains and valleys where humans lived, hunted and built settlements were drowned as glaciers melted. These submerged landscapes are the perfect hiding places for forgotten histories. Off the coasts of India, for example, sonar surveys have revealed structures deep beneath the waves that resemble ancient cities, aligning with myths of the drowned city of Dwarka. In the Caribbean, Rumors of strange geometric formations lying on the seabed feed speculation that fragments of Atlantis or another unknown civilization may yet be discovered. If most ancient people built along coastlines as we do today, then countless ruins lie buried underwater waiting to be rediscovered. But it isn't only lost civilizations that the oceans may guard. They are also keepers of life's oldest secrets. Many scientists believe the first living organisms arose in hydrothermal vents on the seafloor, where mineral-rich water gushes from the crust, providing both energy and shelter in the darkness. To this day, entire ecosystems thrive around these vents without sunlight, dependent only on chemistry and heat. These alien-like communities challenge our understanding of life itself and hint at possibilities for life on other planets with hidden oceans like Europa or Enceladus. The deep sea is not just Earth's hidden heart, it may be a mirror of other worlds. Yet for all their promise, the oceans also hide terrifying truths. They are littered with scars of Earth's violent history, impact craters, massive fault lines, and supervolcanoes capable of rewriting the planet's fate. The Chicxulub crater, where the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs struck, is partly buried beneath the Gulf of Mexico. Tsunamis, triggered by underwater landslides or seismic activity, have left behind ghost stories in coastal traditions, myths of waves swallowing entire villages in minutes, and lurking within the ocean floor are methane hydrates, frozen reserves of methane gas that, if suddenly released, could trigger catastrophic climate shifts. In many ways, the ocean is both protector and executioner, its vastness hiding dangers that could one day resurface. There are also strange phenomena that defy easy explanation. Reports of mysterious sounds from the deep, like the infamous bloop recorded in 1997, have fueled speculation for decades. While some scientists suggest it was the sound of ice fracturing, others are not convinced, pointing out its organic qualities. The ocean's crushing depths could easily conceal creatures beyond imagination, larger than anything we've discovered. After all, giant squids, once thought mythical, were confirmed to exist only recently. If such monsters could remain hidden for centuries, what else is lurking in the uncharted abyss? Legends from across cultures point to the sea as a source of both wonder and terror, from sea serpents in Norse sagas to the leviathans of biblical texts. Humanity has long sensed that the ocean holds things beyond comprehension. Could some of these legends be distorted memories of real encounters with creatures from the deep? Sailors' tales of strange lights, uncharted islands, and cities rising from the sea before vanishing again are easily dismissed as fantasy, yet they align eerily with what we now know about shifting tectonic plates, bioluminescence, and mirage. Myths often hide truths, and when it comes to the ocean, the line between myth and reality blurs. The ocean also guards secrets of human conflict and tragedy. Beneath its surface lie countless shipwrecks, from ancient trading vessels to warships from the world wars. Each wreck is a frozen time capsule, a glimpse into human history swallowed by the sea. Some of these sites may hold treasures, gold, artifacts, and knowledge, lost for centuries. Others may contain evidence of events rewritten or erased from history books. It is said that history is written by the victors, but the ocean may be keeping the untold stories of the defeated, waiting for the day technology allows us to uncover them. Then there is the possibility of deliberate concealment. Some theorists argue that the ocean's vastness has been used not only by nature but also by humanity to hide things. From nuclear waste to secret experiments, the depths provide a convenient place for disposal or concealment. Rumors persist of hidden bases, strange structures picked up on sonar, and anomalies that governments have no interest in explaining. Could the ocean be more than just a natural frontier? Could it also be a vault for secrets we're not meant to see? One of the most chilling aspects of the ocean is its sheer indifference. Unlike land, which we can shape and dominate, the sea remains untamed. Storms, currents, and tides remind us that it obeys no master. The Bermuda Triangle, a region infamous for unexplained disappearances of ships and planes, remains a potent symbol of the ocean's unpredictability. While scientific explanations point to magnetic anomalies, methane releases, or human error, the persistence of mystery fuels speculation. The idea that entire vessels could vanish without a trace only adds to the ocean's aura of danger. But perhaps the most haunting thought of all is this: if the ocean conceals so much that we do not know, how much more might it be keeping from us? If civilizations once thrived along coasts that are now drowned, then the true history of humanity may lie locked away beneath waves we have barely begun to penetrate. If life itself began in the oceans, then its oldest and most alien forms may still be hidden in the depths, unseen since the dawn of time. And if myths of sea gods, monsters and lost worlds carry even a grain of truth, then perhaps the ocean is more than just water. It is a boundary, a veil, separating us from knowledge that could change everything. Every expedition into the deep brings back surprises. Entire new species are discovered, ruins are found where none were expected, and anomalies are recorded that defy explanation. The ocean seems determined to remind us that Earth is not fully known, that beneath the waves lies a world as alien as any planet in the universe. It is a world that has shaped our past, sustains our present, and may hold the key to our future. The unsettling truth is that the ocean is not just Earth's greatest mystery, it may be the keeper of humanity's greatest secrets. And until we uncover them, we are living on a planet we do not fully understand. If the oceans guard secrets beneath the surface, then the skies above hold mysteries that stretch even further, out into the cosmos. Earth is not isolated, it is part of a larger system, bathed constantly in radiation, particles and signals that come from beyond our world. Most of these signals are ordinary radio waves from stars, static from black holes, or background noise left over from the Big Bang. But every so often, something unusual breaks through, something so strange and inexplicable that it forces scientists and dreamers alike to wonder, are we truly alone, or is someone or something trying to speak to us? These anomalies, often buried in technical data, form some of the most haunting mysteries of modern science. One of the most famous examples is the WOW signal, detected in 1977 by a radio telescope in Ohio. Lasting for 72 seconds, it was a burst of radio energy so strong and so unusual that the astronomer Jerry Emmons circled it on the printout and scribbled the word WOW in the margin. To this day, no one knows where it came. Some argue it was a natural phenomenon, while others insist it matched the kind of signal we might expect from an intelligent source. What made it especially eerie is that it came from the direction of Sagittarius, near the constellation's Chi Sagittarii star group. Attempts to detect it again failed. It appeared once clear and unmistakable, and then vanished forever, like a whisper from the dark. But the WOW signal is not alone. In recent years, scientists have detected what are called fast radio bursts, or FRBs. These are intense bursts of radio waves lasting only milliseconds, yet they release as much energy as the sun emits in days or weeks. At first they were thought to be rare, but as technology improved they began appearing more often. Most come from billions of light years away, their exact origin still a mystery. Some FRBs repeat, coming from the same location in space, which raises even more questions. Are they natural, created by magnetars, hypermagnetized neutron stars, or could they be something more? Some researchers even speculated they might be signals from alien technology, like massive beacons or energy beams used to power spacecraft. While that explanation is still fringe, the fact that these bursts exist at all suggests the universe is more restless than we thought. Closer to home, Earth itself has been the source of bizarre signals. In Antarctica, scientists working with the ANITA experiment detected particles that seemed to be coming up from the Earth rather than down from space, something that defied physics as we know it. Some theorized it could be evidence of new particles, or even parallel universes brushing against our own. While mainstream science treads cautiously, the fact that our own planet is sending out anomalies raises unsettling possibilities. What if the Earth itself interacts with cosmic forces in ways we cannot yet comprehend? Even more intriguing are the correlations between cosmic activity and events on Earth. Some researchers have noticed strange alignments between solar storms and human history, as if bursts of solar energy can influence not just technology, but even biological systems. Ancient cultures often worship the sun, treating solar eclipses, flares, and auroras as omens. Could there be more truth to their beliefs than we realize? Modern science admits that solar activity can disrupt communication, navigation, and power systems. But what if the influence goes deeper, subtly shaping climate, migrations, or even human consciousness? The concept of cosmic whispers extends into mythology as well. Ancient texts from the Vedas of India to the writings of the Mayans and Sumerians describe beings who descended from the stars, often bringing knowledge, technology, or warnings of destruction. Were these simply allegories, or could they reflect real encounters with forces beyond Earth? The Dogon people of Mali, for example, have legends describing the Sirius star system in stunning detail, knowledge they supposedly had long before telescopes existed. Skeptics argue it was coincidence or later contamination, but the mystery remains. How could ancient peoples describe star systems invisible to the naked eye? Then there are the unexplained signals within our own technology. Radio telescopes have occasionally picked up repeating signals that at first seem extraterrestrial, only to be later dismissed as interference from earthly sources like microwaves or satellites. But skeptics caution against dismissing everything. If a real signal did come, would we even recognize it? Or would we label it as noise and move on? The unsettling truth is that we may already have heard something significant and failed to understand it. Another layer of mystery lies in the recurring theme of the hem. Around the world, people report hearing a low-frequency humming sound with no clear source. It has been documented in places as diverse as Taos, New Mexico, Bristol, England, and even entire regions of Canada. Scientists have proposed explanations ranging from industrial noise to geological activity, but none have fully explained why only some people hear it and why it persists in such varied location. Some believe it could be connected to the Earth's magnetic field. Others suggest it might be linked to cosmic frequencies, and a few whisper about secret experiments. The hum, whether natural or not, is another example of strange signals that leave us with more questions than answers. But perhaps the most chilling aspect of cosmic whispers is not the signals we've caught, but the silence that surrounds us. The universe is vast, filled with billions of galaxies, stars and planets. By all logic, it should be teeming with life, and yet, apart from a handful of anomalies, it is quiet. This is the famous Fermi paradox. If life is common, where is everyone? Some suggest civilizations destroy themselves before they can spread. Others propose that advanced beings deliberately remain silent, or that we are too primitive to understand their communications. But what if the silence is deceptive? What if the signals are there, hidden in plain sight, and we simply lack the perception to recognize them? The danger, of course, is that we may not be prepared for the answers. If signals are truly out there, they may not be friendly. Some researchers warn that broadcasting our presence could be risky, drawing attention from civilizations far more advanced than ours. Others argue that it is already too late, that Earth's radio and television signals have been leaking into space for over a century, announcing our existence to anyone listening. If someone has heard us, are they already on their way? And so, we are left with a paradox. On the one hand, we are bombarded with strange signals, bursts, hums, anomalies that hint at a universe alive with activity. On the other hand, the overwhelming silence suggests either that we are alone or that others are deliberately avoiding us. Both possibilities are unsettling. If we are alone, it means the responsibility for life in the universe rests entirely on our shoulders. If we are not, then we may already be part of a larger story we don't yet understand. The whispers from the cosmos remind us of how little we know. They are like distant voices heard in the dark, fleeting and incomplete, leaving us to wonder if they were real or imagined. Perhaps one day we will tune our instruments just right and hear something undeniable, a message so clear it cannot be dismissed. Until then, the signals we have received serve as haunting reminders that the universe is not silent, only mysterious. And maybe, just maybe, it has already spoken. We just haven't learned how to listen. Humanity has always lived with the shadow of disaster looming just beyond sight. From ancient myths warning of floods and fire to modern scientists cautioning against climate collapse and asteroid impacts, the idea that Earth's future is fragile has haunted our collective imagination for thousands of years. The unsettling truth is that catastrophe is not just a possibility, it is woven into Earth's history. Every great extinction, every collapse of civilization, every sudden climate upheaval stands as a reminder that the world we take for granted can change in an instant. What makes this even more chilling is that many of these warnings, whether from prophets of old or scientists of today, converge on the same message. We are far more vulnerable than we realize. Throughout history, cultures have told stories of catastrophic endings. The Mayan calendar was famously misinterpreted as predicting the end of the world in 2012, but its deeper meaning may have been about cycles of destruction and rebirth. Ancient Hindu texts speak of yugas, vast cycles where civilizations rise, fall, and are erased before beginning anew. The Bible describes apocalyptic floods and fiery judgments, while Norse mythology warns of Ragnarok, a world-ending battle followed by renewal. Across continents and centuries, different peoples seem to echo the same haunting idea: Earth's stability is temporary, and catastrophe is inevitable. Modern science, in its own way, reinforces these ancient warnings. Climate change is perhaps the most obvious threat. A slow-motion catastrophe driven by human hands, rising temperatures, melting ice caps, extreme weather and collapsing ecosystems point to a future where Earth itself may become hostile to its current inhabitants. Scientists warn that if we continue on our present path, the damage could be irreversible, reshaping the planet in ways that force billions into suffering or extinction. Yet the danger does not stop at climate. Asteroids, the very killers of the dinosaurs, still roam the solar system. NASA tracks thousands of near-Earth objects, but even one undetected rock could in theory strike with devastating force, plunging us into a new dark age overnight. The comforting illusion that we are safe is just that, an illusion. Then there are the supervolcanoes, sleeping giants capable of altering the entire planet in a single eruption. Yellowstone in the United States, Toba in Indonesia, Campi Flegrei in Italy, all have the potential to release ash and gas into the atmosphere on a scale that would block sunlight for years. Crops would fail, temperatures would plummet, and society as we know it could collapse. Geological records show these eruptions have happened before, and while they are rare, the possibility remains. The fragility of Earth's future is not theoretical. It is built into the planet itself. But beyond natural disasters lies an equally unsettling possibility: humanity's own hand in its downfall. Nuclear weapons, biological engineering, artificial intelligence, all represent powers we have harnessed but not mastered. A single miscalculation, an accident, or a moment of madness could trigger catastrophe. The Cold War nearly ended in nuclear fire more than once, and today the arsenal still exists, waiting in silos. Advances in technology create new dangers as well. Could a rogue experiment with genetics or a runaway artificial intelligence pose threats we cannot predict? Some argue that the very tools we create to secure our future may instead guarantee its destruction. Overlaying these threats are the prophecies and predictions that stir both fear and fascination. Nostradamus, the French seer of the 16th century, is often cited for his cryptic verses that some claim predicted wars, disasters, and even modern events. While skeptics dismiss many of his writings as vague, the eerie accuracy of some interpretations keeps his reputation alive. Similarly, Baba Vanga, a blind Bulgarian mystic, made predictions that have gained attention for their apparent accuracy. Whether one believes in prophecy or not, the fact that these predictions resonate so strongly speaks to a deeper human intuition, the sense that catastrophe is not only possible but inevitable. Yet prophecy and science converge in a way that should not be ignored. Ancient myths of floods align eerily with geological evidence of sudden sea level rises at the end of the Ice Age. Warnings of fire from the sky mirror the asteroid impact that killed the dinosaurs. Even the idea of cycles found in Hindu and Mayan traditions resembles the scientific recognition of extinction rhythms, magnetic reversals, and climate shifts. It is as if human memory, encoded in story and myth, has always known that Earth's future is fragile and that survival is a matter of time, luck, and preparation. What makes this fragility so terrifying today is our awareness of it. Ancient civilizations may have feared the gods, but they did not know about asteroids, supervolcanoes, or climate change. We do. We can measure the risk, chart the trajectories, and model the outcomes. And yet, despite this knowledge, we often act as though we are immune, as though catastrophe is a story for someone else. But history shows otherwise. Civilizations far greater than ours have collapsed, undone not only by natural disaster, but by arrogance, corruption, and overreach. The Mayans, the Romans, the Mesopotamians all rose to great heights, only to crumble. Why would we be any different? The thought grows darker when we consider that Earth's fragility may extend beyond disasters into forces we cannot even measure. Strange anomalies in the magnetic field, cosmic rays from distant galaxies, unexplained signals like the WOW signal or FRBs, all suggest that we are part of a universe that is still unpredictable and mysterious. What if catastrophe comes not from within Earth, but from outside it, in ways we have not even imagined? Could a cosmic event, a gamma-ray burst, or something we don't yet understand strike us without warning? The truth is, the universe owes us no safety, and Earth's survival has always been balanced on a razor's edge. And so we return to the haunting question: how fragile is our future really? The answer is both simple and unsettling. It is as fragile as it has always been. The only difference now is that we are more aware of it. We see the patterns, we study the risks, and we recognize the danger. Whether through ancient prophecy, scientific prediction, or the undeniable evidence of history, the message is clear: catastrophe is part of Earth's story. The only unknown is when it will strike again, and how humanity will respond. The fragility of Earth's future is not cause for despair. It is a call to awareness. For if history has shown us anything, it is that life endures. The planet has survived impacts, extinctions and upheavals, reshaping itself each time. The question is whether we will endure with it, or whether we will become another forgotten chapter, another lost civilization buried under the weight of disaster. What makes this moment different is that we have the ability to prepare, to anticipate, and perhaps even to prevent. But will we ignore the warnings, dismiss the prophecies, and walk blind into the very catastrophes we fear? The silence of that answer is almost as haunting as the disasters themselves. For in that silence lies the weight of responsibility, a reminder that Earth is fragile, and so are we. We walk upon the Earth every single day, confident in its solidity, trusting that the ground beneath our feet is stable and unchanging. Yet what lies below us is a realm shrouded in mystery, a hidden world as alien as any distant planet. The crust we live on is only a thin shell compared to the vast, fiery and enigmatic layers below. For all our technology and science, humanity has barely scratched the surface. The deepest hole ever drilled, the Kola superdeep borehole in Russia, reached just over 7 miles, an astonishing feat for engineers, but less than a fraction of 1% of Earth's depth. In truth, we know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the secrets locked deep within our own planet. And what little we do know raises more questions than answers. At the heart of Earth lies the core, a blazing sphere of molten and solid metal, hotter than the surface of the sun. It is here, through the movement of molten iron, that our magnetic field is generated, a shield that protects us from deadly radiation. But the core itself is inaccessible, studied only through indirect evidence like seismic waves from earthquakes. These waves reveal discontinuities, strange regions where energy bends or slows unexpectedly, suggesting that Earth's interior is far from uniform. Some seismologists have detected anomalies they cannot explain, vast structures the size of continents hidden deep at the boundary between the mantle and the core. What are they? Are they remnants of ancient planetary collisions? Or are they something stranger, massive formations we cannot yet comprehend? Legends across cultures speak of realms beneath the Earth. The Greek Hades, the Hindu Patala, the Norse Svartalfheim. These were not simply imagined as metaphors, but as real, physical places deep below. Could such myths have been inspired by genuine geological phenomena, subterranean caves that extend miles into darkness, strange echoes that seem to speak from nowhere, and unexplained tremors might all have given rise to the idea of underworlds inhabited by gods, spirits, or ancient beings? Even today, cave explorers report sensations of disorientation, strange vibrations, or sudden feelings of dread in vast underground spaces. Are these simply psychological effects, or could there be natural forces at play we do not yet understand? One of the greatest mysteries beneath our feet is the phenomenon of tectonic plates. Earth's surface is broken into massive slabs that drift, collide, and grind against one another, shaping continents and oceans over millions of years. Yet the mechanism driving them, the convection of molten rock in the mantle, remains poorly understood. Why do some plates move faster than others? Why do supercontinents like Pangaea form and then break apart in repeating cycles? The periodicity of these events hints at a deeper order, a hidden rhythm in Earth's interior that science has not yet explained. Earthquakes, too, remain mysterious despite centuries of study. While we can map fault lines and measure seismic activity, predicting when and where a major quake will strike remains beyond our grasp. Some animals seem to sense earthquakes before they happen, behaving erratically hours or days in advance. What signals are they detecting that we cannot? Could Earth itself emit subtle vibrations or electromagnetic changes before releasing its destructive energy? Whispers from the deep that only certain creatures can hear. If so, then perhaps our ancestors were more attuned to these signals, giving rise to myths of Earth groaning or gods stirring below. Volcanoes add another layer of enigma. These fiery mountains connect the surface world to the molten depths, and their eruptions remind us of Earth's raw power. Yet even here, much remains unknown. Supervolcanoes like Yellowstone are monitored constantly. Scientists admit they cannot predict when the next eruption will occur. What triggers such explosions after millennia of dormancy? And what lies within the vast magma chambers beneath them? Chambers so large they could swallow cities whole. The mystery grows darker when we consider the possibility of hidden supervolcanoes yet undiscovered, buried beneath oceans or ice sheets, waiting silently for the moment to unleash devastation. There are also more puzzling anomalies. Deep below Africa and the Pacific, seismologists have identified giant structures called large low-shear velocity provinces, regions so massive they could reshape our understanding of the planet's interior. Some theories suggest they are denser than the surrounding mantle, perhaps remnants of ancient planet-sized objects that collided with Earth billions of years ago. Others propose they might be reservoirs of magma, storing energy for catastrophic eruptions. But the truth is, we don't know. These colossal features, thousands of miles across, lurk unseen beneath our feet, their origins and purpose still a mystery. Adding to this enigma are stories of hollow Earth theories, often dismissed as fringe but persistent throughout history. Tales of vast inner realms, hidden civilizations, or subterranean worlds have circulated for centuries. While mainstream science rejects the idea of a literal hollow Earth, it is curious how widespread such myths are. From Tibetan legends of Shambhala to Native American stories of tribes emerging from underground, the concept of hidden worlds beneath us is nearly universal. Could these be symbolic echoes of humanity's ancient encounters with caves, volcanoes, or unexplained seismic phenomena? Or could there be truths hidden in these stories that science has yet to uncover? Even the minerals and elements within Earth raise unsettling questions. Diamonds, formed deep within the mantle, sometimes contain tiny inclusions, fragments of minerals that reveal conditions miles beneath the surface. Some of these inclusions suggest the presence of water trapped deep in the mantle, enough to fill oceans many times over. If true, it means there are entire hidden seas beneath our feet, locked away under crushing pressure, influencing volcanic activity and plate tectonics in ways we do not yet understand. The idea of oceans within the Earth is both staggering and haunting, hinting that our planet may carry secrets within it as vast as those on its surface. But perhaps the most chilling thought of all is this: Earth's interior is not static. It moves, it shifts, and it evolves. The molten core cools slowly over time, altering the magnetic field. The mantle churns and convects, driving the plates above. Each movement, each shift, is a reminder that the ground beneath us is not permanent. Civilizations may build monuments, cities and empires on solid ground, but in truth, it is all resting on a restless, shifting engine of fire and stone. And when that engine chooses to release its energy, nothing we have built can stand in its way. The mysteries beneath our feet remind us of our own ignorance. We live on a planet whose surface we barely understand, let alone its depth. Strange anomalies, unexplained tremors, hidden oceans, and colossal structures at the core all point to a truth that is as humbling as it is terrifying. Earth is not just our home, it is an active, dynamic force, one we do not control and cannot fully predict. The ground may feel solid, but the reality is far more fragile. And if history has taught us anything, it is that the mysteries buried below always find a way to rise to the surface. When people look up at the sky, they often see it as a ceiling, a vast but familiar dome of blue by day, and stars by night. Yet history and science alike remind us that the skies are anything but ordinary. They have been the stage for countless mysteries, strange lights, unexplained objects, bizarre weather and phenomena that defy explanation. From ancient records carved into stone to modern reports filed by military pilots, humanity has always been haunted by the same unsettling question: what exactly is happening above our heads? For thousands of years, the skies have been linked with gods, omens and messages from beyond. Ancient civilizations recorded fiery wheels in the heavens, chariots of light, and signs that foretold disaster or change. In Mesopotamia, clay tablets detail unusual celestial events. In medieval Europe, manuscripts depict strange formations in the air, armies of glowing orbs or crosses floating in the clouds. Skeptics might dismiss these as misinterpretations of comets, meteors, or auroras, but the consistency across cultures and centuries suggests something deeper. It is as if the skies have always been alive with mysteries humanity cannot quite decode. Even today, unexplained aerial phenomena refuse to vanish. In recent years, governments have reluctantly acknowledged encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena. UAPs, a term replacing the more sensational UFOs. Military pilots describe objects that move at speeds beyond known technology, performing maneuvers that defy physics, with no visible engines or wings. These are not vague sightings from the distant past, but radar-tracked incidents, recorded by some of the most advanced aircraft in the world. The Pentagon's release of declassified footage only fueled the fire, showing objects darting through the sky with uncanny precision. The official explanation, none. The skies remain filled with questions that have no satisfying answer, yet not all mysteries are tied to unknown craft. Strange weather phenomena have long confounded scientists. Ball lightning, for instance, is a glowing sphere that appears during thunderstorms, hovering and sometimes passing through windows before vanishing with a bang. For centuries it was dismissed as myth, until enough credible reports forced scientists to take notice. Even now, its cause remains debated. Plasma, chemical reactions, or something else entirely. Whatever the answer, ball lightning reminds us that the skies still harbor secrets beyond our understanding. Auroras, those shimmering curtains of light at the poles, are among Earth's most beautiful natural displays. Yet even here, mysteries remain. Ancient records describe auroras appearing in places far outside today's typical zones, sometimes with unusual colors or patterns. Could shifts in Earth's magnetic field have caused these anomalies, or do they hint at cosmic events, solar flares, or radiation bursts that were stronger and stranger than anything recorded in modern times? If such phenomena returned, could they wreak havoc on modern society, crippling satellites, power grids, and communication systems? The skies, while beautiful, may also be dangerous in ways we are not prepared for. Mysterious sounds from the sky add another unsettling layer. Around the world, people have reported hearing trumpet-like noises or low-frequency hums that seem to come from nowhere. Videos capture eerie tones echoing through the air, shaking buildings and unnerving entire communities. Explanations range from industrial noise to atmospheric phenomena, but none fully account for the global consistency of these events. Are they natural resonances in the atmosphere, or are they something stranger, signals perhaps that we cannot interpret? Ancient prophecies often describe the heavens trumpeting before great upheavals. Could these modern sounds be echoes of something similar, an omen woven into the planet itself? Another enduring mystery is the phenomenon of falling objects from the sky. Rains of fish, frogs, and even stones have been documented for centuries. Science attributes some of these events to waterspouts lifting animals into the air and depositing them miles away. Yet many cases defy this explanation. How could frogs fall in areas with no nearby bodies of water, or fish appear in places untouched by storms? While some dismiss these accounts as exaggeration, eyewitnesses continue to swear by their authenticity. Could there be atmospheric processes we don't yet understand? Or are these phenomena glimpses of something we cannot yet explain? Unidentified lights are perhaps the most common and persistent mystery. Reports of glowing orbs, moving in deliberate patterns, have flooded human history. Pilots, sailors, and everyday people all describe luminous spheres that hover, follow, or vanish without warning. Some are likely misidentified aircraft or satellites, but others resist easy classification, the so-called Foo Fighters of World War II. Strange glowing objects that accompanied military planes baffled both Allied and Axis pilots. Were they natural phenomena, secret technology, or something else entirely? The fact that they appeared in the middle of global conflict to pilots on both sides adds to the mystery. The skies are also the home of celestial anomalies. For centuries, comets were seen as harbingers of doom, their sudden appearances linked with plagues, wars, and disasters. While modern astronomy explains comets as icy travelers from the outer solar system, their unpredictable arrivals continue to fascinate and unsettle. What if a comet, unseen until too late, were on a collision course with Earth? Or what if some ancient accounts of comets were not comets at all, but something stranger, now lost to interpretation? Atmospheric anomalies provide further puzzles. Lenticular clouds, shaped like UFOs, often cause waves of reports of strange sightings. Yet beyond optical illusions, there are cases of true anomalies, cloud formations that seem unnaturally geometric, storms that form without clear causes, lightning striking from cloudless skies. Pilots sometimes describe entering areas where instruments malfunction, compasses spin and visibility collapses without explanation. Could there be localized zones where atmospheric and magnetic forces collide, creating phenomena science has not yet categorized? Then there are the legends that refuse to die. The Phoenix Lights in 1997, where thousands of people across Arizona reported enormous silent, V-shaped craft gliding across the sky. The Tunguska event in 1908, where a massive explosion flattened forests in Siberia, likely caused by a meteor, yet leaving no clear crater. The Hesteland Lights in Norway, where glowing orbs appear regularly, studied for decades, but never fully explained. These are not isolated events, but ongoing reminders that the skies are far stranger than we admit. The unsettling part is that many of these mysteries converge. Strange lights, bizarre sounds, sudden disappearances, and technological malfunctions often occur together. Pilots report losing control of instruments when encountering identified phenomena. Witnesses describe feeling disoriented or overwhelmed by fear in the presence of unusual lights. Could there be an underlying cause connecting these anomalies? Some atmospheric or cosmic mechanism we have yet to uncover? Or is it possible that these phenomena represent interactions with intelligences beyond our understanding, revealing themselves in glimpses too fleeting to grasp? What makes the skies so compelling is their dual nature. They inspire awe with sunsets, stars and auroras, yet they also conceal the unknown. Every strange sighting, every unexplained sound, every flicker of light against the dark is a reminder that we live under a canopy of mystery. We like to think we have mastered the skies with our aircraft, satellites and telescopes, but in truth, the heavens continue to keep their secrets. The greatest question is not whether unexplained phenomena exist. They do, but what they mean. Are they natural processes waiting for discovery, echoes of cosmic forces beyond our comprehension, or signs of something more intelligent watching from above? Until we know, the skies will remain both a source of wonder and a stage for fear, a reminder that above our heads stretches a vast unknown filled with questions we have only just begun to ask. Looking back at everything we've uncovered, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Earth is not just a planet, it is a riddle wrapped in layers of mystery, violence and beauty. From the fiery chaos of its birth to the fragile balance that sustains life, from the uncharted depths beneath our feet to the unexplained phenomena above our heads. This world tells a story far stranger than the simple, orderly version we were taught. Every mountain, every ocean trench, every unexplained sound or light in the sky adds to a larger puzzle, one that refuses to be fully solved. We like to believe that science has answers for everything, but the deeper we dig, the clearer it becomes that our knowledge is just the surface, and beneath it lies an ocean of unanswered question. The magnetic field that shields us, the tectonic forces that shape us, the skies that flare with unexplainable lights, and the stories left behind by ancient civilizations, all of these hint that Earth is alive in ways we cannot yet understand. Myths of underworlds and heavens above, tales of gods walking among us, or signals sent from beyond the stars. Maybe they weren't simply fantasies, but humanity's earliest attempts to describe forces that still defy explanation. What if those myths are fragments of truth, distorted over time, pointing to a reality stranger than fiction? The greatest danger is not in acknowledging the unknown, but in ignoring it. Civilizations before us may have thought they understood their world, only to be humbled by earthquakes, floods, eruptions and cosmic events that changed everything in an instant. So we live in a fragile moment, dependent on forces we can neither control nor predict. A shift in the core, a solar storm, a hidden supervolcano, or something beyond our skies could remind us just how temporary our sense of security really is. But alongside the danger lies awe. The mysteries of Earth do not just warn us, they inspire us. They remind us that life thrives in the face of uncertainty, that humanity exists only because this strange, unpredictable planet has given us chance after chance. Each unanswered question pushes us further, drives us to explore, to look deeper, to reach higher, and maybe that is Earth's greatest secret of all. It keeps us curious. So as you walk on the ground, look at the stars, or listen to the silence between, remember that you are part of a story still being written. Earth is not finished revealing itself. There are secrets in the oceans, in the rocks, in the skies, and perhaps in places we have not yet dreamed of looking. And one day, whether by discovery, by catastrophe, or by revelation from beyond, those secrets will come to light. The only question left is whether we'll be ready when they do.